Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm sitting down to chat with you guys about math, specifically math from The Good and the Beautiful. Their Simply Good and Beautiful math. I wanted to take the time to answer some questions I've seen, as well as bless you guys in partnership with The Good and the Beautiful with a good giveaway. A good giveaway. So make sure you watch until the end of the video for the instructions on the giveaway for 2 grade level math sets for 2 of you guys, and the instructions will be given at the end of the video. But we're just gonna have a casual chat about math and how it's been going, what I see for the future, kind of what my plans are now that my youngest daughter is entering into the 6th grade and will be using Math 6 from The Good and the Beautiful, Simply Good and Beautiful Math. So lots of questions lately surrounding math, and so I figured it was time to sit down and chat with you guys. So I want to start this off by saying that there's no curriculum that exists out in the homeschooling space that doesn't have both positive and negative reviews. So, you know, you have to take people's opinions, mine included, with a grain of salt when it comes to this, because every curriculum is going to work differently depending on the child, depending on the family, depending on the preferences. Honestly, sometimes it's not even that the curriculum wasn't working, it just wasn't what you preferred, right? So I think sometimes people will hear a negative review, or they'll see a video that somebody made purely for you know, views and clicks. And that's why I don't put those kind of things out, because it just does not sit well with me. I'll say I stopped using something, but I don't try to spend a lot of time explaining why I stopped using something or making a video solely on that fact. Because at the end of the day, the reasons why I stopped using it will probably not be the same for any of you guys. And so I think that that is true for everything when it comes to homeschooling, but it's especially true when it comes to math. I think math curriculum is probably one of the hardest pieces of curriculum to find something that works really well for your kids and your family, and you know, is challenging them in good ways and not frustrating them in negative ways, and it can be quite a challenge. I think math curriculum is probably the most researched curriculum done by homeschooling moms, and it's a challenging one. And often a homeschooler who homeschools for a long time will go through multiple math curriculums until they find one that just works really, really well. So as you guys know, if you've watched my channel since the beginning days of Grace and Grit, the math from The Good and the Beautiful was not around when I started homeschooling, which sounds so funny to say, but it wasn't. So we used a variety of different programs until I was finally able to try math from The Good and the Beautiful. And it was actually not the Simply Good and Beautiful version. It was the math prior to that, which was pretty similar, but there are some differences. And I believe my youngest daughter was in math 3 when we did that. So I've used math 3, math 4, math 5, and now math 6 from The Good and the Beautiful. And I wanted to share our experience because I've been getting asked a lot lately, what is next after math 6? Because math 6 is currently the last level available. The Good and the Beautiful is working on math 7 now, as the date of filming this, that math 7 will be released in early 2024. So that is to come from The Good and the Beautiful, and then they say math 8 will be released in the coming years. So they are working on those following grade levels, but I've had a lot of you guys asking me, because of the math direction my other kids have gone, what I'm gonna do, and if I think that math 6 from The Good and the Beautiful is enough preparation for pre-algebra. So I wanted to tell you that right out of the gate, having already had 3 children go through pre-algebra, I know the concepts that they need to have mastered before they continue on in math. And all of those concepts are covered in Math 6. So I do think, in my humble homeschool mom opinion, that after Math 6, your child could go on to pre-algebra. Now, Math 7 has not been released yet, so I have not looked at it to be able to tell you if that will be the direction that we go with pre-algebra. Obviously, The Good and the Beautiful uses a scope and sequence when it comes to math, and so naturally there already are some pre-algebra components in here. There even were in Math 5, which was the level that she used last year, solving for x and variables and things like that. So I started seeing some pre-algebraic, expressions coming in Math 5. It's definitely in Math 6. And then once I get my hands on Math 7, I'll be able to tell you more firmly if that will be the direction that we go and we continue on using Math 7, or if I have her follow in the footsteps of my other kids and we go that direction, simply because that's what I've already done. But like I said, Math 7 has not been released yet, so I haven't looked at it. What I can tell you is that ever since The Good and the Beautiful created Simply Good and the Beautiful Math, we have had a really, really wonderful experience using it. I've never felt that it was, inadequate, of course, or we wouldn't be using it, but I also haven't really felt overwhelmed by it, and neither has my daughter. There were a few lessons toward the end of Math 5 that were pretty long, and so in that case, I would save a review section for the following day, or I would separate the lesson into 2 days, and so there's a lot of flexibility that comes within that. I also really appreciate about Simply Good and Beautiful Math is that once a child masters a concept, they see it again and they review it again, very similar to the spiral approach that basically means that they come back to everything at some point. And I've seen that approach, and that was the method that I used previous when The Good and the Beautiful didn't even have any math courses. That just worked the best for my kids. So the video lessons have been a very wonderful addition to Simply Good and the Beautiful Math. It's about a 10-minute introduction, I would say. Now, sometimes I think people expect their child to understand what they're doing after watching that 10-minute video. In my experience, that is the case sometimes, but then other times, that's like an introduction. So they're getting like, okay, this is what I'm learning about today. But then there needs to be some teaching and follow-up from the parent, at least with my child. So that's what the mini lesson is for. You can read the mini lesson to your child and then work on those practice problems together before they are reviewing that new math concept that they learned. So I have been very, very pleased with the math from The Good and the Beautiful. It is very, very solid. It is fun. It is engaging. It is simple. It is colorful. There's a lot of really fun components to it. It's just really, really well done. And I can see how it is preparing my youngest daughter for those higher level math courses. And this is my first time doing it because, like I said, these math courses were not available with my older children. So I know where they were at when they began to move into higher level math, and I can see where she's at as she starts to move toward higher level math. And I think the foundation has been laid very, very well with the math that we've chosen for her. It's worked very well. There have been mastery and memorization of things that you do need to memorize in mathematics, and lots of review, real life application, practice problems, review sections, course assessments that are built in. So if you're working through it and then you get to a course assessment and they cannot complete those problems, you know that you want to go back to that. And It's just very, very teacher, parent friendly. It is not a source of frustration in our homeschool. And that's not because my daughter necessarily loves math. It's just that the course is so well done. So I am fully confident that Math 6 will be adequate preparation for pre-algebra. However, I cannot give you guys a final answer on which direction I'm going to go because I haven't seen Math 7 yet and I am anxiously awaiting it. I know it is going to be just as wonderful as the previous levels, and I am so happy to see the Good and the Beautiful creating higher level math because what is available is very slim when it comes to fun, engaging, solid math curriculums, and a lot of us don't want an entirely computer-based program, and I think that there is major disadvantages to using a computer-based program in the younger levels of math. I really am a strong believer in teaching mathematics with a pencil and paper, especially in those younger years. I think high school it can start to head that way and be okay, but you know, second grade is hard. They need to be using a pencil and paper, in my humble non-professional homeschool mom opinion. So I wanted to share a little math update with you guys and just basically share our experience using it from Math 3 now all the way up to Math 6 and give you guys you know, my thoughts at this exact moment. I reserve the right to change my mind with everything that I post on my YouTube channel. Nothing is set in stone, and part of me sharing is like people will say, well, you said, and it's like, yes, I know, but sometimes I can change my mind or I can make a different decision. So I am holding out the space to make a change if in the future I decide, but that's where we're at now. So I wanted to answer the question about pre-algebra specifically because that is one that I have been getting a lot of people want to know, like, what direction am I going? And I very much take it year by year and figure out what I'm doing for that year and then make those choices that need to be made next year, which at the sound of what's available on the website right now, it says Math 7 will be available. So I will be very excited to receive that and look through it. So I hope sharing my experience using math from the Good and Beautiful is helpful for you guys. Now let's get into the giveaway details. I am really excited to share that the Good and the Beautiful and I would like to bless 2 of you guys with a full math curriculum set of your choice. So I will post all of the instructions for the giveaway down in the description box, but you have to be subscribed to my channel, subscribed to the Good and the Beautiful's channel, as well as their kids' YouTube channel. So they've got 2 channels that you do need to subscribe to, which I'll link down below. And then you need to come back here, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what math level you would like to receive, and I will choose 2 winners at random and contact you in the comments so that I can arrange for shipping from the Good and the Beautiful to you for your math level. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's my review and experience on using Simply Good and the Beautiful math and where we're at today, and I hope that it was helpful. If you have any questions, post them down below, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye.